It's a Purple Friday on the Fan, and we want to send you to the home opener. Caller 11 right now will win a pair of tickets to see your Minnesota Vikings take on the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. Call now and good luck.
That's pretty cool, man. Hey, speaking of tickets being available now, we are doing another Heavy Metal Hawk Fest, man. Halloween night.
Yeah.
What time will that be?
I think we're going like at 8. But Halloween night, we're going to do prizes for like the best costume. It's going to be heavy metal, hard rock stuff. It's fun. Just come on out. Late Music Room. Check it out at latemusicroom.com or go to chrishockey.com to find out all the details. Let's have some fun. Get dressed up and do an old-fashioned Halloween. Boom.
Love it.
Okay, it's like this. It's news time. And I know Chris can't wait for the news.
Yes. I love the news.
This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by the St. Paul Saints.
I love the Saints. Let me tell you about something going on with the St. Paul Saints right now. They surrendered 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. 8-7 loss to the Columbus Clippers. 68-72 Saints send Aaron Rozek to the mound against the Clippers tonight. They'll be back at CHS Field soon. We'll give you all the details. You can go buy your tickets at saintsbaseball.com. What a great time of year to go to baseball games or high school football games tonight. Holy moly. I'm thinking about just going to a random high school football game tonight.
I'm just glad that sentence ended with a football game.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Come on out to Orno. We got a game tonight.
You got a game tonight?
Yeah.
Are you going to be there?
Yes.
Are you
Yes,
really?
we will be, yes.
And can we play some guitar afterwards?
Absolutely.
You're my man.
Duh.
You want to do it?
Supporting the
Let's
community
go.
he lives in.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I want to do it.
Want to do it?
Yeah.
That was Marty.
How about Minnetonka winning last night, by the way? Did
They
you
were
guys see
down
that?
28-7.
They beat Edina.
Oh,
Yeah.
they beat Edina?
Yeah.
They were down by 3 touchdowns and came back and won in the last
Just
few minutes.
Just a little rivalry there, eh? Between Minnetonka, Edina, and Sauce?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
man.
know-
Just a subtle
Yeah.
one there.
Minnetonka's
you
always been
devastated?
my team, though.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. You cheater.
No.
Yesterday you said Edina was your team.
No, I've never said that. Minnetonka's always been my squad. This was called subterfuge.
The Battle of the Sauce.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
see?
it worked. I didn't realize. I guess
See,
it
I
worked.
motivated my skippers.
So
Worst team name of all time.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. It's
terrible.
just
No, it's terrible.
So you're going on record saying you want Edina to lose everything.
No, I don't. No.
But Minnetonka's, though, is your team, not Edina.
No, Edina's my team.
Wait,
So they
This-
lost last night, though. Your squad lost
my
last
squad
night.
lost last night.
Oh.
Well, this Bloomington kid cheers for Edina to get their butt kicked every time.
There you go. See? When you guys, as the skippers, did your homecoming dance, did you guys have to do a skip to the loo, my darling? Is that what the skippers is about?
I have no idea. I think it's a sailing term.
Yeah, there's an, I mean, yeah.
Yes, Paul. Yes.
Your squad, eh?
I don't know. I barely played high school sports.
I mean, the anchor on the jersey is a
I was there to do one thing.
Is that what it is, an
Make
anchor?
people
Yeah.
laugh and talk to the ladies.
I bet you did, man. I
And
bet you
none of
did.
them worked out.
Our top story of the day, the McDonald's $5 meal deal is staying through December because nobody's going to fast food joints anymore because it costs $50 to get a hamburger.
Yeah.
Again, look, the McDonald's app, you're saving a ton of money every time. You want your meal to be affordable? Use the freaking app.
Yep.
It's free money.
Yeah.
But it's still so much more expensive than it used to be.
Yeah.
But they run deals every day on that thing.
I'm a
Every day.
recent convert.
How about this?
Every place should have an app like that.
Hey, Zalaco,
Yeah, Zalaco.
Yes, sir.
Zalaco?
check this out. September 18th, which is 5 days away, National Cheeseburger Day, 50-cent double cheeseburgers at McDonald's.
Jeez,
And I'm
can't
not even
afford
doing a
not
commercial.
to.
I mean, come on, let's go. Go buy like 50
Yeah.
of them and freeze them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually aren't bad cold. In fact, that's the only reason that's the only way I'll eat a traditional cheeseburger.
Is cold?
What?
Are you a
What?
monster?
It's the weirdest thing.
Are you on meth?
Because I only found that out like last year when we
You
had
only found out that that's the way you
because
eat?
McDonald's came in
How?
and we had a bunch of cheeseburgers, and then the ones that they didn't eat they put in the fridge, and I just gave it a shot the next morning, and I'm like, I don't eat cheeseburgers fresh.
Do you spackle the toilet?
Whoa.
No. I might have. I can't say I don't remember that
Did you
part, but I
spackle
liked
the
it.
toilet?
So I don't know why. My taste buds are weird.
Weird, man.
Hey, Car,
What a freak you are.
Hey, Colt.
Yes, Chris.
I'm going to send this one directly to you.
Thanks.
And maybe you too, Parrish.
Ooh.
I don't know why this guy, and maybe you too, Creasel, because I don't think this guy has a leg to stand on. And I want to tell you, I don't understand this. Help me out. A guy in Florida sold his $85 million mansion. Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
On Miami's Indian Creek Island. And he sold it for a bargain. The realtor did not disclose that the buyer was Jeff Bezos. So the former owner of the mansion has filed a suit in Florida state court against the realtor for not telling him it was Jeff Bezos that was buying the mansion.
Well,
because he said, I sold it to you at a discount. I wouldn't have done that if I had known it was Jeff Bezos. How does he have a leg to stand on?
No, that's
no,
a
he
stupid.
can't.
No.
Yeah.
How's that even in the news? How do you not throw that out as soon as you see it?
It will be thrown out.
You have to be, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even
Did it
think
say
they're not
what he-
required to because I didn't, like you typically you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been bounced around. I've moved.
Sure.
And you typically you don't know, and sometimes after or whatnot. But yeah, it's not their job.
If you can,
A buyer's a buyer.
Yeah,
right.
That's why they do it because they protect their buyer.
Right. And obviously the market dictates. So there weren't better offers.
Yeah.
So did he sell? He sold it at a discount, you said?
He said, he wanted 85. He sold it for 79. And if
well,
somebody's
now,
got
come
$79
on.
million
Yeah.
That's
to
not
buy
a
house.
You serious?
And that's easy for us to say.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but if you're putting it, percentage wise,
Right.
you're talking about a regular house, you'd be talking, what, $25,000, which over a 30-year period for normal people, that's not going to be a huge
No,
amount.
but let's talk about conceptually here. This person is saying it's not fair that the richest guy in the world, give or take, got a discount, and I would completely disagree.
Completely disagree.
It's not-
Bezos has every right to get a good deal and to find
correct.
an angle and to save money. He's allowed to save $6 million if he wants to.
Yeah, it wasn't like he thought he was selling it to a charity.
Yeah, exactly.
If he pulls up to the McDonald's drive-thru and tries to use the app, are they going to go, nope?
Yep, you're Jeffrey
You're
Bezos.
paying full price for that cheeseburger, and Zach's going to eat it cold.
Well,
And
and
then
to go
splatter the
along with
toilet.
that, like they teach you, like
Brilliant.
the veterans teach you, like when you go into situations, try not to tell people what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Right.
Because as soon as they hear NHL, as long as, any pro athlete across the board, they're just like, oh, well, you can afford whatever. So they
bet.
take advantage of you.
Yeah.
I don't care whether you're the richest man in the world or a professional athlete. You don't want to get taken advantage
I
of.
bet they slide the check right over to you at dinner, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you remind them that you're...
that's Manny's. Brilliant.
No, they just
Well
don't
played.
show up at Manny's.
Well, and by the way, also, if it was $85 million and he sold it for $79, my guess is it's not like he had an offer for $83 on the table.
No,
Right? This was
exactly.
the best
Right.
deal
Yeah.
he had,
It's
so
another great
too bad.
Literally, yeah.
And
So
it's
now he's going to
ridiculous.
waste money in court.
And if you're this guy and you have this kind of money and you talk about this to your other rich friends that live there, they'd be like, Brian, it's $6 million. Shut up.
He's definitely Brian.
He's
That's
definitely
great
a
name.
Brian.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
Brian.
Brian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Neat. You bought. Shut up, Brian.
Right, Zacho. All this the seller knew because their realtor just said, well, I have a buyer for you. And the guy said, well, who is it? And he goes, well, he's a CEO entrepreneur born in
Oh, yeah,
1964.
we can't play that anymore.
Can't play it anymore.
Oh,
Just have to
son
say
of
it.
a bitch.
I know.
Spoken word.
Can't give Bo
Missed that.
Burnham money.
I missed that.
Congratulations, Jeff, on
You
your new
did it!
house. You did it.
That's
God,
the only
great
one I'm not
bit.
He's
sad
going to
about.
level that place and build something nicer.
Right. That would be
And you
the
know the
ultimate
neighbors are
flex.
super pleased that Jeffrey Bezos bought it because
They'll
who
never
doesn't
see
want to
him.
say they live beside Jeffrey Bezos?
Yeah.
Right.
But they'll never see him. How many houses does he have?
Oh, good point. I don't know. Here's another question for you. I still have never figured out this question. If somebody gets murdered in your house and then you sell it, do you have to tell people?
I believe murder,
I
but
believe
not
murder, yes.
not another type of death. I believe like if
Murder,
it was a
you have to.
suicide or
Yeah.
natural causes, but murder, I believe you have to disclose.
You have to disclose that, yeah.
What if it's a terrible accident, but it's an accident?
Like,
I think you're fine. I think you don't have to say anything
Fell
else.
in the wood chipper.
Or if Zach spackled the toilet.
Shit.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then,
I definitely want to know that.
and then
before I
Hog's
buy a
dad
know
house.
that
couldn't
when
get
you
back
walk
there
in.
quick enough and slipped and fell and died. Yeah.
And then my dad sues you for not telling him.
Yeah, that you didn't spackle him.
Why do I play along now?
Yeah, because you
What's
love
going
it.
on?
Because you know it's like one of my only bits.
Today's Friday the 13th. Just a normal day for many of us. Many slasher movies. If you're one of those people who don't want to tempt fate on Friday the 13th, you might want to be careful not to do things that, according to legend, bring bad luck, like walking under a ladder breaking a mirror, or opening an umbrella indoors. And for safe measure, avoid black cats. Anybody? Yeah, who cares, right?
I'm going to do all those things today.
I'm not
My,
suspicious at all. So
My first date with my wife was on Friday the 13th, and that pretty much sums us up.
Now I believe.
I get it now.
Friday the
I get it.
13th. Well, so Zach, you can remember 2 dates now. My first date with my wife was a Friday the 13th, and my anniversary is
June 6th. What? June 9th, I'm sorry.
June
And,
9th. Why do you remember that so easily?
I don't know, man. It's just
I wonder why you remember that date so easily.
certain.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, June 9th. What a day. Nicest day of the year, in my
What a
opinion.
day.
Nicest day of the year.
What a day.
Yeah, there was hellfire.
day.
What a
Hawk and I
day.
were there.
Speaking of hellfires, Southern California is experiencing the most earthquakes in a decade of at least a magnitude 4.0. And they're also having nothing but forest fires everywhere.
Well, only we can prevent those.
I don't know if I can help.
That's what Smokey said, man. I listen to Smokey.
I know, but he was always high.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always high.
Always high.
Is he still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sure. I wore a shirt the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Said, hey, you, stop it.
Yeah. Smoke these T words. That's what the shirt said.
Stop it.
Who would you rather hang out with, Smokey or Loafy?
Loafy.
Well, Loafy.
Yeah.
And what about Leafy?
Or McGruff.
Yeah, McGruff.
You know, he wears that trench coat.
Yeah, man. You know,
Yeah.
he's
It's like you
naked
know
under
that
there.
he's going
Yeah.
near playgrounds and just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's break it
got
down
that
here.
He does have a creepy look.
Yeah, he's
Smokey,
flashing that
Smokey's a
hog.
bear who doesn't want fires because my guess is he lives in the forest, right?
Good guy.
McGruff was a crime dog, so it's a talking dog who solves crime.
I
Pretty
always thought
cool.
he did the crime.
Yeah.
No, he solves them.
And then solved it.
But it doesn't do
But
the
again,
time.
Loafy from Country Hearth is a piece of bread who, according to the packaging on Country Hearth, loves Country Hearth bread, which means he's a cannibal, right?
Yeah. But
That the bread is so good that even another piece of bread will eat it.
can you blame him?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
It's that good.
sauce. If somebody told me, like if Dahmer told me, man, meat sauce tastes unbelievable,
Yeah.
I would not eat you. I wouldn't.
And I wouldn't believe him either.
But Loafy is so into the bread, he will be a bread cannibal and eat another piece of bread.
You-
That's how good it is.
That does have to be button bar.
Yeah. You wouldn't eat me?
No.
Like, what if you
No.
and I, like, were on an island?
That's why
and it
Loafy's
was-
better than me.
And all we had left was just you and I. And you were like, quit trying to hold my hand. And I was-
I'd kill you immediately.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to.
Good point. Just
Yeah,
give
I
it
would-
24
yeah,
hours.
24 hours. Give it 40 minutes. And I'd be like,
Without his phone?
yeah, without my phone.
Within 40 minutes, you'd be tipping pitches to opposing hitters.
I want to go home.
Am I there too?
Yeah, but you and I already made sweet love and
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
died.
say,
yeah,
there's-
yeah.
That was the first 40 minutes as well.
Yeah, we made sweet love the
I
first
kind of like
30
this
seconds.
island.
because you and I were like, well, we've almost gotten to this point. No, nothing to stop us now.
So you two make love in the first 40
And he
minutes.
dies.
Chris finds his reason to live.
Yeah.
You find a reason to die.
yeah, we made sweet love. Yeah.
And what am I doing? Just fighting the urge to
Oh,
eat you?
you're hammering yourself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Looks like you're dealing dice.
What's the name of this island?
Dealing dice?
Yeah, Hammer Me Island.
Is it Irish?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Does
Hammer
Bezos
me
have
Island.
property?
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
The one guy, Brian's mad that he sold it.
I'm reading more of the story of the Bezos story that Chris just brought up. He paid $68 million for a 2.8 acre property right next door too.
Whoa.
So
He's building a
Yeah.
fantasy
Everything.
island there. Yeah.
Yep. So now he's super pissed. The guy that sold it for $79 million is a toy maker from Brazil. Makes Brazilian electronics and toys.
Okay.
Toy company founder.
A lot of money in that.
BFP.
The toy she really wants.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Anyway, so where's Hammer Me Island?
It's off the...
Which sea
He'll
is
show
it?
you during the break.
What? Well,
Is it in an ocean or a sea, or where is this island?
it's on Lake Mille Lacs. We got stranded up there. Hawk was trying to make love to my dad, and he put him in a boat.
Turned out to be Rosie.
And it turned out to be roast.
Your dad put Chris in a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
glass
are you and
bottom.
I in the boat?
Because we lived there.
Oh, we were already on the island. So
Yeah, we
Chris
lived
just
there.
washes ashore.
Yeah, and we're like,
what happened?
sense to me.
We're like, what happened to you? And he's like, Lawyer Lambert finally had enough,
Yep.
and he shipped me off
Yeah.
to Hammer Me Island.
Yep.
How long had you and I been there at that point? We just got there,
15 minutes.
but we lived there.
Yeah, we lived there.
It's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah.
So we live there, but we are fighting for our lives the second we start living
Well,
there.
I am, because I'm bored and I need to go.
Do we have a house?
In our hearts.
No, but you can lay under the shade of his head.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't bring sunscreen.
And Hawk landed, and we all said, that guy looks like he needs some sex.
You know, think about it, though. If you kill him and eat him, not only do you have food for months, you've got a structure for your
there's
bed.
your apartment. Yeah.
They'll think that someone put a big boy restaurant sign up there.
A lot of marbling. Yeah.
Is that the Metrodome?
Yeah. They look safe.
So I would have to kill you, not to eat you, but just to live inside your head.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'd have to slow cook
Which you kind of do anyway.
No, that is true.
Let you
Rent-free.
render down.
What?
Let you render down.
Yeah.
Cook you slow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to be
You'd be
cooked slow.
juicy.
A lot of fat. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of marbling.
Use him as your Wilson.
You know what's crazy about
Yeah.
Parrish? Like if
Oh,
Parrish was
wow.
ever on Survivor, Parrish would be, I think, the most helpful when he is awake.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest of the tribe would just rip him to hell going, God, all this guy does is nap. What a lazy ass. He's very effective and efficient when he's awake, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we vote him off? I don't know. I think you could build a structure. I think you could fish, right?
Yeah.
You could find food for us.
Yeah.
But those afternoon naps would probably get to the tribe.
He'd find us that ooh-wee.
Yep. Chris, the season premiere of Survivor, I think, is next Wednesday.
Yep, I'm excited.
Season, like, I don't know, 50-ish or something. We're getting close to 50.
Great time. We had the new reel this week. And,
What do you think so far?
I like it. I like
He's
it.
fine.
He's fine.
He's no Sajak, but he's fine.
And the show is the show.
Yep.
I like it.
Still about the puzzles.
Yes,
Thanks for
sir.
supporting
How
him.
do you, are you as mad about the extra G as I am? We don't need RSTLGNE.
I think it's only during this little
This week?
because LG is the sponsor. So
Yep.
it's I mean, it's smart
too many
marketing,
letters.
but that is too many. Makes it too
Last
easy.
night, same thing.
Yeah,
The letters filled in most of the puzzle, and he still missed it.
right.
Man.
Crazy. Love you guys. Go to my website, johncreasel.com.
Love you.
Book me for a
Love you,
speaking
Chris.
engagement later this year or next year. We're filling up, johncreasel.com. Love you guys. Go Vikings. See you next Friday.
All right. 1 hour from now, initial semifinal number 3, Justin Guard, Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, Tyler George of the Olympics, and Zachary Halverson of the Horn. They'll square off at 8:15. $73,500 up for grabs. One of you listeners will have a crack at $73,500 thanks to St. Paul Federal Credit Union. That's at 8:15, but Sauce will walk us through sports after this Power Trip Morning Show fan.
The Fan.
Well, we just said goodbye to him, but you can say hello to John Creasel tomorrow, and you can support your local veterans by coming out to Veterans Fest. Join us at United Heroes League tomorrow for delicious food, family fun, and live music. Plus, meet John Creasel from the Power Trip and stock up on KFAN swag. All proceeds go to every third Saturday and United Heroes League nonprofits. Get your tickets now at veteransfest.com.
Thanks, Zach. And by the way, I neglected to mention earlier, I hope you all took advantage of the cultivated CBD discount that we had Tuesday through Thursday this week. The Charge Challenge was decided earlier, presented by Cultivated. We'll let you know on Tuesday morning how much of a discount you're going to get if always the KFAN code's 15% off at cultivatedcbd.com. But if one of us loses to the ghost, me, 20% off. If 2 people, 25% off. If 3 people lose to the ghost, you get 30% off like you did this past week. So there you go. CultivatedCBD.com presents the Charge Challenge. Thank you.
All right, the champ is here. Justin Guard is the
Look at
first
him.
one in the building. That's not Zach Halverson.
And
Tyler
Dan.
George is going to be here. Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. And Justin Guard take on Zach Halverson at 8:15. Gerdzie won the title last year. So far, AJ and Mike Grimm back in the finals. AJ has been in the finals all 3 years. He beat Creasel in year 1. Lost to Gerdzie in year 2. He'll be back in the finals next week. But Justin trying to make back-to-back championship runs starting today at 8:15. Hi, Justin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A lot of good players.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup, man.
A lot of good players.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
of good players.
You're not concerned. I can see it in your face.
Concerned, no, but there's a lot of good players.
Yeah.
Pelicero's a sniper.
And Tyler's an unbelievable force as well.
Yes.
Zach, I've talked to Zach the last 2 hours or whatever.
He's
Zach
sneaky.
truly thinks he's getting 0. He has no stress. He's not stressed about it at
Yeah.
all. This is as loose as he can be because he's like, I have no chance. I'm just going to,
How do we
Play
know
loose.
when Halvey's loose compared to when
this is
Halvey's
Halvey
tight?
loose.
Good point.
That is a good point. It's hard to
No
tell.
stress. He's not worried about it.
But it'll be fun. It'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Good luck to
you
you.
get to this level, it's anybody's game. So I'm excited.
Sauce, what were you saying about Edina and Minnetonka earlier?
I love Edina. It's my squad.
What about that? You said Minnetonka was.
They apparently had an epic football game
Yeah,
last
how about
night.
that, man? They had a 3-touchdown lead and they lost to Minnetonka.
That's crazy.
Sauce's
The resilience
skippers.
of the skippers.
Yeah, correct. What happened?
And you believe it has something to do with ships?
Yeah, I think that's what skippers are. Yeah.
Got it.
Would make sense.
Sauce, would you like to tell Justin what happened in sports?
I would love to.
Let's go. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm sitting too close to you.
No, you sit as close as you want.
Should someone be here?
Around property
Yeah, that's Zacho's
preservation.
spot.
Thanks all around.
The Minnesota Vikings battle the Niners this Sunday at noon. Pregame at 10 right here on this station.
And Dan.
And is that right? Both teams are 1-0. The 49ers are a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 45.5. Addison didn't practice for the second straight day. Harrison Smith, didn't practice due to a hip injury. Garrett Bradbury and Brian O'Neill were limited. And Van Ginkel, who didn't practice on Wednesday, he was limited yesterday. Hold on.
I thought I read that he did practice. Is that not true?
No, he was. I read that he was limited.
He did. It just wasn't a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
Right.
Hang on.
What are you Googling?
One of
I
us.
think I have it. I think I trust what I wrote down. Christian McCaffrey was also limited with that calf and Achilles injury for the second straight day.
There's no reason he should play.
No.
Christian McCaffrey.
They don't need him.
They don't need him, and why would you do this week 2?
Right.
Yeah, when you have Super Bowl aspirations
Yeah,
and
you've got a
the
long
backup just
season.
ran for 147 yards.
Right. Why would you mess around with it? I wouldn't mess around
Yeah,
with
What's
it.
wrong
correct.
with that?
I'd be surprised. Gink's playing. Do we like Gink? Are we
I
good
love
with
Gink.
Gink as the nickname?
Yeah, a little
I'm fine
uncomfortable with that.
With
Yeah.
Gink?
Just a little bit. No, it feels like I shouldn't say that.
Never thought about it. Now I won't say it right.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to say Van.
Yeah,
That's not good either.
Yeah. No.
Like calling someone a Gink.
Yeah.
exactly.
It seems like it's
Yep.
not a nice thing to say.
No.
You shouldn't call someone
How
that.
about we go with Ginky? That's where.
Yeah.
It sounds like a red-headed slur, right?
Wow. That's
It's derogatory.
Wow.
wow. I mean,
Married a gink.
that's pretty exact.
You meet the new Gink?
Yep.
Meet the gank.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just an
I'm
absolute
starting to like it more
ginger.
now that I say it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of Gink?
Who?
Exactly.
I love Parrish.
Hey.
Parrish doesn't have red hair.
Touching
You
strays.
should see it.
Downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, my.
And you guys are closer than I thought.
It does show up on camera a little
It
bit.
does?
It does look red.
Got a red
It's
tint.
got a red tint, but yeah.
You have great hair.
What-
You have beautiful hair.
Thank you. I didn't know I had red until though it does show up.
You're a beautiful Gink.
You really are.
See, I don't know,
I
man.
like it.
I don't know if I should be honored or creeped up.
The more you say it, the
Both.
more I like
You
it.
could be both.
All right.
And Dan.
And Dan.
Continue.
Can you play that for Guardsy?
You know, I'm trying to find it right now because I have a news story. I have a news story involving him.
Oh, can I do one of the sports stories just to get you triggered? Because I don't know if you wrote this down.
What do you mean I didn't write it down?
Oh, you might have.
Go ahead.
ESPN said the Manning cast will broadcast during the 2027 Super Bowl. They are currently in the 4th season of doing Monday Night Football simulcasts. Earlier this year, they signed a 9-year extension with ESPN. However, Sauce, you'll like this part. Week 1 with the Manning cast was the all-time lowest ratings in terms of viewership, 872,000 viewers. The Power Trip podcast gets more monthly downloads.
Is that right? Wow. Should sell that. He was talking to you.
Your thoughts on the Manning cast doing a Super Bowl in 2027?
This is just my opinion. I'm tired of the Kelsey brothers. I'm tired of the Manning brothers.
And the Lambert brothers.
And the I'm tired. I've always been tired of them, though.
It's
Even
universal.
Peter and Jeff, I'm tired of them, too. But yeah, I'm just tired of it. It's
Tired of your daddy?
no, you're my daddy.
Did you watch the Manning cast last Monday?
I've never watched it.
But you're tired of them.
I'm just
but you've
they're
never
everywhere.
seen it.
No,
They're
not
omnipresent.
that. They're on that. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. They're in everything. They do everything.
People
That's
like
what I'm
'em.
tired of. I've never watched that. But I have no interest in that. I just want to watch the game. I don't care about those two idiots.
You can barely get people to quiet down, like, for the actual game of the Super Bowl. Like, the Super Bowl, it doesn't seem like this is a good fit for them. Like, because you're at parties, you're running around, people want to see the commercials. Like, do we need an alternate cast for the Super Bowl? I don't think we do.
I like it, and you don't have to watch it.
Sauce hates it, and he's never seen it.
No, but I don't like them.
You have watched Bad Monkey, though.
How do you not like them?
18 hours ago on Twitter, you posted Bad Monkey on Apple TV is 9.9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a 10 is because Zach Braff is in it, and he ruins everything.
That's the most tweet I've ever stood by.
That's the most tweet you've ever stood by.
You're a dink.
It's Gink, by the way.
No, I said right.
That's the most tweet you've ever stood by?
Yeah, I've never stood by anything.
You hate
more
Zach
in my life.
Braff,
I'll
too.
be right over there. I got some Flintstones.
Is that the guy from Scrubs?
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, I think I'm with
Thank
you
you.
there.
The T-Mobile commercial, ridiculous.
He doesn't
that guy
ruin
sucks.
everything, but he has the look of someone that thinks everybody thinks he's funny and like,
Yes.
can you believe that I'm here?
And when he shows up to a party, you're like, oh, God, that guy?
11 hours ago, you tweeted, Pink Ivy and Hopkins is so good, highly recommended.
Wonderful. We went last night. Excellent. It was super good. They have these chicken meatballs, super good. The burger was one of the best burgers I've ever had. Excellent spot. And they're huge Power Trip and KFAN fans.
10 hours ago, you tweeted, Mike McDaniel just meat-sauced that drive.
It was pretty bad, you have to admit it.
Was that before the half? I was listening to the radio, on the way back.
Terrible.
Yeah, it sounds like they did meet.
No hustle.
Then last one, 10 hours ago, you tweeted a GIF of a hawk.
Yeah.
You tweeted a GIF of a hawk and tweeted, who loves Tulsa King?
I do really like that show.
Him.
I really do like
Told
that
ya.
show. I do like it. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
You're a gink.
He was talking all about it. How much he loves it.
He was talking all about it.
I'm not bright.
That's the most tweet he's ever stood by.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm still employed.
You need vitamins.
Yeah, well, never mind.
What's the worst part of the Manning cast?
Well, see, here's the thing. We know you're smarter than I am, and you back me into a corner. I've never seen it, but I don't want to see it. I hate them.
It's actually kind of interesting. I like it.
No, it's not.
It can be. Yeah, sometimes it's worth
with the right
checking out.
guess.
Yes.
When they break it down, you know how everybody liked Romo when that first season when he was kind of calling the plays
Guessing
ahead
the
of time.
plays.
Don't call him that.
I still like Romo, but I know everybody else seems to have turned on him. But the Manning cast is kind of similar. They both kind of tell you what's happening when things are shifting, and he's going to look for this, and here's what happened on this play. They give you cool insight. It's like having the main broadcasters for the general public. The Manning cast is a little more niche, right? They go a little hardcore.
Well, what was funny was remember when Cousins joined them last year, right after and they just wanted to mess around, and Cousins wanted to use it as an opportunity to study football. If you remember, hey, what do you guys do on a zero? And Eli's giving Peyton the middle finger, while they're doing it or swearing. It is a little bit different.
We should do the saucy cast.
It'd be him looking at his phone
Which
the whole
he's
time.
currently doing right now. We're ripping the Manning
Do you know
brothers,
why?
and he's not listening.
The whole
Because there are
thing is
people
built around
texting
him.
me. You want to know why?
Why?
Because there are people texting
Why?
What do you want to do? Thanks, Randy Marsh.
They're saying
that
over
agree
there.
with me.
Who agrees with you?
I can't say it. That's
course you can.
confidential.
Well, that's
It's not
great idea,
confidential.
then.
Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
not like disclosing a cancer diagnosis or who somebody voted for.
There's no
You
HIPAA
can,
laws.
you
Can I
can
ask you a
say
question?
who doesn't like the Manning brothers.
They won't get offended.
No,
I
it's not the
promise.
Manning brothers.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You know why?
No, Barb agrees with me that Zach Braff sucks.
Why wouldn't you just say Barb?
Yeah, what's?
Because I got-
do you think Barb has an issue with that at all?
We were talking about the Manning cast, and you're like,
I'd moved
can't
on.
say.
I know.
I'm with you on Romo too, by the way.
I like
he
him.
gets too much heat.
Yeah.
We
Talk
loved
to
it about
the
him.
dance, though.
Who cares? You want to hear more Jim Nance? We've heard enough of Jim Nance. We've heard
Right.
Nance for 50 years. He's
Sing it.
great.
I like you. You're good.
I almost
Garza.
met him
Romo's
once.
enthusiasm is like Tommy, before the cocaine.
Hold on one second,
It's
guys.
just
I gotta stop
right there.
everything. I apologize. I gotta stop everything. You almost met Jim Nance once?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've gone through this
we've
story.
gone through
Wasn't this
this.
at Manny's or
No,
something?
it was at
Bar La Grassa or something like that?
it's the steakhouse that
Pink Ivy?
No,
It does, okay, it doesn't matter.
hold on.
So
No,
you read a
JD
steakhouse.
no,
Ponderosa.
Murray's,
no,
Outback.
Jack's Cafe.
no. Capitol Grill.
Steak Shack.
No.
You think Nance goes to Outback?
He might. Blue and Onion.
No.
Texas Roadhouse.
It's the one.
The Flame Burger.
It doesn't matter. He was at a restaurant, and you just
Hold on. I want to know now.
Perkins.
I want to know now.
just finish the goddamn story.
Culver's.
McDonald's.
He was at PS Steak.
Okay.
I've never heard of that
Wait a
one.
minute.
Yeah. It's downtown.
P.S. Steak.
It's the end of Sauce's
Downtown.
letters.
Billy's Sushi.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
so
Great spot.
you've gone through this story, but say it again.
So, my sister-in-law at the time worked at PS Steak, and she texted us that Jim Nantz was there. And Kelly and I were out for dinner, and I wanted another drink. So we stopped, and we sat at the bar, and he was sitting there just regaling stories, and it was sweet.
He
But
was
I'm
regaling stories.
like telling stories. It was sweet. It was I think it was the night before the 3M bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not going to bother him. I just didn't want, I don't want to bother
So you
him.
just hovered over him to hear him regale stories?
Yeah, it was like I was part of the group. That's it.
How close were you to him, would you say?
From me to Corey, about 7 feet.
Just listening to him talk?
Yeah. I mean, I think I had 4 drinks, but yeah.
Lucky.
It was great.
Man, this is good stuff.
You know, instead of framing it by saying I almost met him, you could have just said I saw him at a steakhouse once. He
Yeah.
seemed nice.
Yeah, all right.
He was telling stories. Almost meeting him is why we stopped the show.
What would you have said to him if you went up to him to introduce yourself?
Nice to meet you. Do you hate Tony Romo like I do? Bye.
You know, by the way you define almost meeting him, and you could say, I almost made love to Jim Nantz as well, because it's the same.
You almost killed him.
Yeah, you almost. Drove
No.
to Nevada with him. There's a lot of things you almost did.
You almost punched him.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
You almost ate with him.
Yeah.
You
almost
almost
did.
sat down. You didn't, but you almost did.
So you went
were
all the
7
way
feet
there
away.
just to stare at him at the bar.
Yeah.
That's ridiculously creepy.
That's worse than saying hi to him.
Well, yeah, good point.
Man, again, everybody likes who they like. If somebody told me that I was 2 blocks away from Conan O'Brien, I might creepily just go into the bar and be like, wow, there's Conan. That is really cool. Should I go say hi to him? Should I tell him that I think he's a genius? You drove out of your way to sit at a bar and stare at Jim Nantz.
Yeah, I didn't live too far from there, but yeah, it was cool. Jim Nantz is sweet.
You're weird.
I agree with that.
Yeah, well, you're ugly.
He's got you there.
That is the most tweet you've ever stood by. Tom Pelissero should be here in a second. Tyler George in a second. Mark Parrish is already here.
It's a big one.
Parrish,
What
who are
about
you
Zach?
cheering for?
Zach.
Cheering for Zach. Okay, you're going for the underdog.
Let's
All right.
go. I was that guy a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or a
Well,
week
and
ago.
you were tied for the lead at one point, were you not?
Yeah, at one point, and then the goat took over.
Yeah,
it was,
then that happens.
Guardsy, I think I was a little bit more intimidated. You don't have a Jeopardy contestant to deal with here.
Oh.
I mean, I knocked the Jeopardy contestant out a year ago. So
Damn it, that didn't go well.
Okay, come back.
.com Tom is here. Somebody go get him for
All
me,
right,
would you?
Tom's here. I think Tyler's here too. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
Join former Twins players LaTroy Hawkins and Glenn Perkins, as well as other local celebrities, for a charity pickleball event on October 13th at Minneapolis Cider Company to help raise funds for Hammeriner, a local nonprofit that provides housing and services to people with developmental disabilities. Enjoy games, food, and live music, and more. Get the full details at KFAN.com /calendar.
Interesting way to word that, but we're just going to move on.
What?
What?
Go back and listen to what you just said.
Pretty much sounded like you said hammering her.
Yeah, you said you're going to get prizes for hammering her.
Hammer and Ner.
Got it.
Okay.
N-E-R?
Thank you.
A little bit different than
Hammer
hammer.
and N-E-R.
I think everything was pretty clear there. There's no.
Thank you, Garzi.
I know there's pickleball
man.
with LaTroy Hawkins and Glenn Perkins. After that,
I caught that part.
not sure.
Tom Pelissero, apparently you did set a reminder for yourself to come in this morning. You didn't forget.
I set 3 different reminders 12 hours, 3 hours, and 1 hour apart.
Well
and
done.
here I am.
Well done.
My wife had to remind me I had this on like Wednesday.
Man.
We got a lot going on, man.
I get it. It's the fall. There's kids involved. Whatever. Tyler George, Tom Pelissero. Have you guys met before or not?
In the
First
elevator.
time?
Yeah, just
About a couple minutes
downstairs.
ago.
Got
Yeah,
it.
in the
Tyler,
elevator.
Tyler.
Yeah, we had a nice stare down as we were going up all 5 floors.
You gotta figure out why there's a tension in there. It's like, oh, it's you.
It's you.
All right.
Just a gold medalist. No big deal.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. You only won one.
Just one.
I'd make a point of that, yeah.
Anyway, welcome aboard, fellas. Big game. The
Big
three
game.
of you, and then way in the back in the dark is Zacho misspeaking.
Seems razor sharp.
Well, again, he just doesn't think he has a chance, so he's not stressed about it. Should we do Vikings news? It's good that Tom's here. He knows a little bit about football. I mean,
Yeah.
he's pretty plugged in for a guy that
I think
covers the
he's kind of
NFL.
plugged in, yeah. Vikings news.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Your truck accessories pro.
Tom, we asked you about it 24 hours ago when you join us every Thursday during the football season, and we just mentioned it last segment when we were talking about Vikings and Niners, but we were just arguing it doesn't make a lot of sense to play McCaffrey unless he's 100%, right? With how good Jordan Mason played on Monday, your 6.5 point favorite or 6 point favorites in week 2, when you have a Super Bowl contending team, probably don't need to push McCaffrey if he's not ready to go.
Well, I certainly think you've got time to let him continue to heal. But like we talked about yesterday, Achilles tendonitis isn't just going to disappear. So whenever he gets back on the field, it's going to be in initially kind of a part-time role, and they'll experiment with it. Is it this week on the road, on turf? Next week you're on turf? McCaffrey said himself, he's like, it's not as if you just, I can run on grass, not on turf. It's like, if you can go, you can go. All these things play into it. Jordan Mason was a truck last week. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they'll take this all the way through. He'll be questionable again, would be my guess on the injury report. I would think that he would travel with the team, and then we'll see how it shakes out.
Andrew Van Ginkel. Gink. Limited in practice. Is that the word?
That was what the injury report said yesterday. I mean, coming off a heck of a week 1 for him here. So, I mean, all these early season things, like the way the injuries are is so different than it was 10 years or 20 years ago in terms of like how the reports are used and whatnot, especially with the season's longer than ever. So if somebody's popping up with an injury early in the season, there's probably a higher percentage chance they're being held back. But also, way back in the day, you would rule a guy like out, questionable, doubtful, or probable on Wednesday at the start of the week, and then that would evolve through the course of the week. Right. A lot of times it's like a guy needs a rest day, and you try not to read too much into it until you get to Friday and kind of see what's what.
That's the thing about like Harrison Smith not practicing yesterday. It's like, I bet he just took a day off.
Right. He's 36 years old.
Right, yeah.
I need a day off every now and then.
I can imagine that that happens quite a bit in the NFL, because it sure happens in the NHL. When you get a little bit older and you're just like, coach, I don't really feel like practicing today.
So can we walk back a week or so ago when the Jordan Mason apparently was told, right, that he was going to start on Sunday, and then he answered the question, and then a whole bunch of people thought that was kind of illegal with the new rules. And then I thought Charch made the best point on Twitter, just saying, well, just because you tell somebody you're starting doesn't necessarily mean McCaffrey's injured,
right.
non-injured.
What Kyle Shanahan said was, I told him you're going to play a lot because Christian's not going to be full go, which again leads me to, if he plays this Sunday, he's not coming back in a full capacity. But there's a big difference between that and, hey, whisper Christian sitting out.
Right.
There's not a lot.
So the Niners are not getting in trouble for this.
There's always gamesmanship on the injury reports. Okay, everybody knows that within the league, but there's certain bright lines on that too, where if you know a guy is out, you shouldn't carry him as questionable all the way up to it. In the end, I mean, teams track this stuff because questionable, the probable designation doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Questionable technically means anywhere from I think it's 25% up to 100%. So that's a pretty big bandwidth. And so teams try to make sure that over the course of time, half their questionable guys play and half don't. So if anybody ever tries to come at them, they're like, listen, half the guys play, half don't. He didn't play. And the only time you really get in trouble with it is if you don't disclose an injury at all. Like last year, Bijan Robinson shows up. He's not on the injury report. Everybody has him in their fantasy league. Tyler's nodding like maybe he was one of those people. You had him. And all of a sudden he plays 7 snaps because he didn't feel well that morning. Those are the ones where you wake up and somebody's sick. You're supposed to put him. Remember years ago, one of my favorite NFL characters, Jerome Simpson, was ended up on the injury report on the day of because he had slept on a new mattress and his back locked up on game day. There's weird stuff to that. But you're supposed to. You had him in the lineup too.
No, that's the back locking up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just getting older sucks.
Yeah, that's why Jerome had other things that he liked to do for
Jerome
the back.
Simpson.
It's for the back pain.
The juice.
There's
remember?
a name. Yes.
That was the juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
The juice, baby.
Those are the things you're supposed to disclose. But the other ones, going through the week, everybody knows. Matt LaFleur has been going through this entire week saying, hey, Jordan Love might play. not playing, barring some type of a miracle here, but let's see. Do they list him as doubtful or out? If list him as questionable, that's going to raise some flags, and I doubt that's what they do today.
But even though everybody with a brain knows this is gamesmanship, if you're a Viking fan, though, and you play Jordan Love and the Packers in 16, 17 days, this is more likely, though, that Jordan Love is ready by that game.
Right. I mean, the timeline I was given initially was 3 to 6 weeks, but it was also emphasized to me it's probably going to be on the lighter end of that, because with MCL sprains, there's different degrees of them. This is between a 1 and a 2. We saw Aaron Rodgers years ago play with a brace on the week after suffering an MCL sprain. He couldn't really move. He basically stood in the pocket the entire game. Could you do that? Maybe with Jordan Love, but why would you risk it? Just try to find a way the next 2-3 weeks. It'll be right around that third week that, we'll see if Jordan Love can go.
Good stuff.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah. You're good at this.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, what did you think of Kirk Cousins' leg last week?
I didn't see a tremendous amount of the game. I've seen the debate since. I think the thing that most struck me was how you run an entire game plan with Kirk Cousins, no run, play action once.
Yeah, weird, man.
Which it's either that's malpractice or it's the way in that scheme you run play action, you turn your back to the line of scrimmage. So you're talking about torquing from under center to get your get off, then turning back and hitting the top of that drop. Coming off a torn Achilles, if you're not 100% comfortable with it, or the coaches are just let's not do that, I understand that, but, there's no reason to think. Kirk Cousins, not on the injury report. He's not being listed as being treated for an Achilles injury. You would think that would mean that he's 100% here. How do they evolve it? I cannot imagine they go out and run no play action again, because that's what Kirk does as well as anybody in the NFL. Right. But it's something to monitor, and they've created an environment there by drafting Michael Penix 8th overall in the draft, where you're getting real close here to, at some point, the chance for Penix if the offense doesn't improve. That was always the risk. First-time play caller, 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles. Kirk will be fine, but there's probably more that the Falcons have to deal with here that maybe people on the outside were anticipating.
But they said his range of motion, the amount he actually moved around in the pocket, was the least of his entire career, any game.
And Kirk's not exactly a move around the pocket guy.
So that's saying something.
He already has a small, he's very good with the short area movement and feeling the rush, but if he's got pressure, if he feels pressure, for instance, behind him, it doesn't look good. It's he kind of tucks it and turtles toward the line of scrimmage. He's got to play in rhythm. They weren't in rhythm last week. They have weapons on that team. But again, don't overlook, Zach Robinson never had called plays in an NFL game before. So you're putting together a game plan for the first time with all this pressure on you that the Falcons have created here by, hey, we're never going to be bad again. We're going to the playoffs. We got all these weapons. We were just a quarterback away. And then, again, I think Kirk he'll be totally fine. But it's a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles. There's not a lot of precedent for that in the NFL. Now design a game plan around that. That's a real specific lens that you're having to look through here. And these coming weeks will be really important just to kind of tamp down, whatever panic already exists, because I've seen it on social media and I've seen it on TV about his performance.
Go ahead. I have one last hardcore football question.
I have one too. So I just, I have to admit, this is because I like the head coach so much, Kevin Stefanski. I have a tendency to believe that he was saddled with that guy as his quarterback. Am I giving him too much credit? Do you know what I mean? I feel bad for him that guy's his quarterback, not just because of the performance, but because everything surrounding him.
I know that Andrew Berry was a longtime fan of Deshaun Watson, the player. And so Deshaun Watson becoming available, a guy who had led the league in passing, I believe, and was a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback in Houston, those guys just don't become available, even for the massive sum they gave up, which was 3 first-round picks, additional picks, and a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract. But there's rarely a player who takes a lot of time off or is forced to take a lot of time off and comes back and plays well. Over the previous 3 seasons, 2021 through 2023, Deshaun Watson played in a total of 12 games. 12 games over 3 years, because 2021, when everything was going on and he didn't want to play there, he made a trade request. There were the multiple investigations at different levels. He didn't play at all that year. Gets suspended for the entire first 11 games of the 2022 season, so he plays 6. Then last year plays 6 and blows out his shoulder. That's 12 games over 3 years. He missed 3/4 of their games. That's a ton of missed time. And so I'm not the ultimate expert on looking at what I see on the field and like knowing, like I don't know the progressions, I don't know the reads and things like that, but he just looks like a guy who's trying to do a lot and like the rhythm of everything isn't quite there. Now he got better last year. The best game he's played in a Browns uniform was the last game he played. He broke his shoulder, played the whole second half, lit up the Ravens, got this huge win, and then you find out 3 days later he's having season-ending surgery. So it's in there, but to do it at a consistent level and also to maintain the elusiveness and the play style, the mobile play style, you get a little bit older. Maybe some of that stuff diminishes at times. Your instincts aren't improved. Your feel for the game isn't improved. When you miss that much time, I know I'm sort of going around the question here, Hawk. It's organizationally, everybody had to be on board. The Haslams had to be on board. Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski had to be on board. They knew that it was going to be a battle in terms of the first year. They knew that not only had he missed a lot of time, he was going to be suspended.
Right.
They thought it would be somewhere between like 6 and 12 games. Ended up on the high side of that.
The contract reflected that, right? wasn't the contract like
it was like $1 million
barely
the first
anything?
year or something, right? So he wouldn't lose money.
Although that's not uncommon. Most times you have a lump sum signing bonus because it puts the cap number lower in 2022. So yes, he lost less money because of that, but that wasn't like an unusual thing. What they were hoping was that by 2023 you would be at normal, and that is both on and off the field. That hey, he's going to be back in rhythm, whole off season, play from week one. He's going to get better and better and better, and all the public criticism, the lawsuits, the legal situations, a lot of that stuff will go by the wayside. You get 1 week into the season, and he's played poorly, and there's a new civil lawsuit, again, about alleged conduct in 2020.
Yeah.
But now you're in the cycle of both. The Deshaun's not playing well, and, I don't know that another lawsuit being filed in Texas really changed anybody's opinion about Deshaun Watson.
Now I'm mad.
I thought he was a great guy before, but
That's the one.
It's more so it brought everything back to the forefront and the lurid details and everything. It just reminds everybody at a time that they need to put everything they have into, we got to get this guy playing better than he did in week one. Getting the starting tackles back is going to help. Jedrick Wills is back at practice. Jack Conklin should be back sooner than later. They had no answer. I mean, Mike Zimmer did a great job with Micah Parsons moving him around. They had no answers in terms of the protection scheme, and then there were drops. Like, I'm not trying to excuse Deshaun Watson. It's just, it's not all him, but some of it is him. And having all these other things happening off the field where all of a sudden the NFL's investigating again and what's going to happen, it doesn't help you block the other stuff out and get the football where it needs to go.
But what does help is the burner account he started. Did you see that? Defending himself on Twitter.
I saw it.
That's him.
I always look at like the syntax and whatnot. I don't think that's him.
Oh.
Could it be somebody
ruin it for
knows? Who
me.
knows? Could it be somebody setting up a burner?
Could it be Kevin
would-be
Durant?
burner account to make it look like that? Yeah,
He's gone full Durant, I think.
All right, so my question was about Tua. We can just start Band 5 with Bills and Dolphins anyway, and then we'll move on to some other nonsense. Justin Gard is here. Tom Pelissero is here. Tyler George is here. They're taking on Zach Halverson in like 15 minutes. Mark Parrish is here. It's the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Deep breath and a reset button.